Hi, Vainavi. Welcome to Startup Studio with Adolf. We are very excited to learn about your big idea. Hope you're excited too. So before we begin, let's quickly introduce ourselves first. So why don't you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Vainavi Auddy. I am 9 years old and I study in South City International School.
All right. Which city are you from?
Kolkata.
Lovely. Okay. Thank you for that introduction. So now tell us, what's your big idea?
My big idea is to create a website where I will be putting up original food for reptiles.
Reptiles? Did I get that right? I mean, why would somebody, open something like that in the first place?
You would be surprised to know that a lot of people keep reptiles as pets. I want to share my creativity and my ideas for food for reptiles with people.
Okay. If I'm not wrong, that's one of the most bizarre ideas I've ever heard on Startup Studios. So tell us, more about it. What kind of food are you talking about here?
We are talking about different beddings and different gel food.
I completely agree with Amit that this is the most bizarre idea even I have heard on Adolf Startup Studio so far. And I don't think I have any idea about what beddings are. And the same goes for gel food. So could you just elaborate a little bit more about what are these kind of, what are these food types? What are they needed for? So just elaborate on that.
Of course, a bedding is a food that you feed to your feeders. Now you must be wondering what feeders are. Feeders are live creatures that you feed to your reptiles, like crickets, worms, and cockroaches. And gel foods are food that you feed to your turtle or goldfish. These food can be by your choice, like you can mix up raw shrimp, broccoli, spirulina, kales, carrots. Just make sure that they are turtle safe and goldfish safe. The food should be mixed with unflavored gelatin. This food is way better than turtle pellets. Turtle pellets are kind of food that you feed to our turtles and they might get bored. So you can make my idea to give them food.
Okay. First of all, thank you for elaborating on turtle pellets because that was supposed to be my next question because I did not know what turtle pellets are. Okay. So let me understand this better. On your website, you are going to sell food for feeders, which are actually the food which you can then give to your reptiles. Is that correct?
On point. So let me show you the cycle. For example, think this is a Tupperware box. Like this is a Tupperware box. In here, the feeders are going to be kept with the bedding. They will live in there. Whenever there is feeding time of reptiles, you can take out the feeders and feed it to the reptiles.
Okay. So tell us, Vaishnavi, how do people, get these feeders in the first place? Because I'm not able to understand, given the fact that these are live creatures and you just can't buy them from anywhere in the market, right? So guide us on that.
I have found a website called Desert Cart in that ships live feeders from US to India. The cost is around 6,000 for 300 super worms. I will mention this website and give its link on my own website so people can buy the bedding and live feeders both at the same time. Once you get a set of feeders, you can make your own colony so you don't have to buy them again. So it's a one-time investment. I understand that is expensive compared to the food for dogs and cats, but people need to understand that reptiles are exotic pets and taking care of them is a little bit expensive.
Okay, Vainavi, I have a quick question here. Tell me, why is bedding so important here? why can't we just simply, feed worms or cockroaches like that? What's the need?
You might not be aware, but feeders are not that healthy. So you need to feed them this to boost them a little bit, because remember, whatever you are feeding to your pets need to be healthy. Bedding is full of nutrients which in turn make your pet healthier.
Okay, that's a fair point. I mean, reptiles are exotic animals, and especially as pets, so might as well feed them good quality food. So, okay, makes sense. So, but now could you just elaborate on the purpose of your website a little more? Because you're already saying that you'll provide a link for the feeder food on your website. So will it be used only to sell the feeder or to give that link to your customers as a one-time activity, or what is the purpose of your website in this big idea?
My website is needed because a lot of reptile owners in India don't have any good website to buy food for their animals. They get packed feeders which are not healthy for their reptiles. This is why I want to sell reptile food which is healthier and rich in nutrients.
Okay, so Vainavi, you clearly seem very passionate about taking care of pets, especially reptiles. But tell me something, are you aware of anyone else who is doing something similar on the same lines as your big idea? Any local competition that you're aware of?
Yes. Most of the pet food companies like Pedigree, Drools are just meant for either dogs or cats. I am making food for a completely different kind of animals.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, in India, there aren't many sellers for the same.
Well, that's not a surprise to me at all. To be honest, I have never come across a person who keeps reptiles as a pet. So that's a surprise to me as well. But tell us, Vainavi, what has inspired you, in specific, to come up with an idea like this?
Okay, I was inspired by the lack of resources for exotic pets in the country. A lot of people might not have the right resources for their reptiles in India. So if they want to learn about them and their care, they go to my channel. And if they want to buy things, they can go to my website. I will keep launching new items on my website, which will be better than the old ones. Also, I was inspired by Steph J, a Mexican YouTuber who films videos about her pets. I really want to be like her when I grow up.
All right, Vainavi. So now that we know what's your true inspiration, or where the true inspiration is coming from, let's get to some the other important aspects of business. Let's get to the sourcing bit. I'm trying to understand here, where would you source your bedding? Where would it come from?
So I will be making the bedding in my home, which I will need some vitamins and minerals, which I will order in bulk from Amazon. For the other food items, I will buy the raw material and make it. My products will be fresh and healthy.
Okay, so interesting. I mean, the fact that you're going to make it at home, which is great. But I have a question around that. What about its longevity? What about its shelf life? For how long can you store these beddings or the kind of food that you're preparing, and would they have an expiry date?
Bedding can last forever as long as your colony is growing. But if your colony stops, if there's no females, then the bedding will go bad.
Mm-hmm.
And no other worms. And gel food lasts about 2 weeks, so I will be selling smaller quantities.
Okay. I still feel that this is all too new for the Indian market, Vainavi, because I think this is a very niche area that you're entering. Honestly, even I haven't seen a lot of people keeping reptiles as pets in and around, my friends and family. So do you have any ideas on how you plan to boost your website? How are you going to make it visible for your customers? How, because I don't think in India people will go searching for these options. So what's your plan? How will you make it visible?
Yes, I have thought about it. I also plan to launch my own merchandise, like t-shirts, mugs, and other things. My merchandise is going to be something that people want. They wouldn't need it, but because it is super cute, they would want it. It will have my kiddos, aka my pets, featured in it, and since I will offer customization, people can also have their kiddos featured in it. My YouTube followers would love to get their hands on these merch.
Oh, so you have a YouTube channel as well? I'm quite curious to know about that. Can you tell us more about it?
I have my own YouTube channel where I share videos about my 17 pets and how to take care of them. I have a rabbit, cat, dog, and a budgie and a pigeon. Just like I make vlogs about them, I will be making vlogs about making bedding, gel food to give my audience an insight to my products and how they are made.
17 pets, Vainavi. That's fascinating. You really love animals. There's no doubt about that. But you also mentioned about selling merchandise and customizing that a little bit as per your customer's requirement. So that's, to me, would be the secondary idea, offshoot of your existing business. And in case you're serious about that as well, I would love to know more about that as well. What's your plan? What all do you want to sell?
Sure, let me tell you my secondary idea. So I will be selling hoodies during winters and throughout the year. I will have t-shirts, tank tops, mugs, bottles, and phone covers.
Okay, I hear a lot of things happening at your end, Vainavi. I hear you making a website. Then you're also talking about bedding. And then now you also have a secondary idea about merchandise. Yeah, and of course you have a YouTube channel. So clearly you're doing a lot of things out there, especially taking care of your 17 pets, not to forget. But tell me something, like when you talk about your merchandise and all, how will you do the printing? Have you figured out the technology? Are you going to tie up with somebody? What's your plan there?
So my plan is, I don't have a means to do this, but I will outsource my work to my friend in Kolkata who prints pictures on different items.
Okay. I have a question for you, Vainavi. Why do you want to get into merchandise? Why not only focus on your website and selling bedding for a while?
I want to get merchandise because people, like, every time in YouTube there's like merchandise, so I want to do it, and it's fun because people decide like the bedding and all, they can have their own like cute merchandise and stuff.
Okay. So do you think that through your YouTube channel, when you talk about your merchandise, that will also push people to buy the bedding from you?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that it works out. So coming to the next question, what about the delivery of the food, the merchandise, everything? How do you plan to execute that?
So I will be using the Blue Dart delivery service to deliver my goods. I know it is a bit expensive, but because I want my customers to receive good quality and fresh pet food, I am opting for Blue Dart. I also live nearby a Blue Dart center, so I can visit that easily. For my merchandise delivery, I will do some cost cutting and I will use the Indian Postal Service, aka Post Office.
Great thinking, Vainavi, for someone as young as you. But there are certain other things as well which one needs to think about before starting a business. Things like pricing, which is very, very critical for the product to be in the market. So have you done any market analysis on that?
Definitely, as per the market analysis, I am going to sell 1 kg of bedding for 1000 rupees. About gel food, since that is 100% homemade, I will first make it and then decide for a cost of the same.
Okay. Your idea is, quite niche, as Swati also mentioned, Vainavi. So I would also like to understand the market landscape, your target audience and things like that. So, how big is the market, and have you done any, analysis or research on that?
Yeah. So my target audience are people who love animals, who own exotic pets, or want to provide good quality food for them. As per a recent article, more than 30,000 Indians declared that they have exotic pets with them. But the sad part is most of them don't know how to take care of them adequately. I really want to help them and give those pets proper food.
Fair enough. And how do you plan to reach out to them?
I believe that my YouTube channel will be my prime mode of reaching out to my target audience. My YouTube channel will have a link to my website which my followers can access. Secondly, I am going to use social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat to upload daily updates about my website and my YouTube channel. I have more than 2,000 followers on all my social media platforms. So social media marketing is going to be an important tool for me.
Okay, that's amazing, Vainavi. 2,000 followers is not a bad number at all. I must tell you that. It's a great start. Coming to the last question for today, the one around startup basics. So have you thought of any brand name for the food or your website, or for the entire idea that you have? Any tagline, anything that you have figured out?
Yes, my company's name is Vainavi's Pet Paradise, and my tagline is Heaven for Your Pet.
Okay, great job, Vainavi. Just one small feedback. Since your big idea is more around reptiles only and not all the pets, I know you have a lot of pets, but you're catering to reptiles specifically. Maybe you could have something unique in your name which calls it out. Just something for you to think about. But nevertheless, it was a pleasure listening to you. And it's a very unique idea that you have there. So great job. And
in my YouTube channel, I am going to film about lot of pets. Just for the website, since there is not reptile food at all, that's why I want to include that.
Got it. Okay, so therefore you want to keep the name a little centric, which is Vainavi's Pet Paradise. Fair enough. Okay, so let's just go ahead with that. I think that's still a good start. So I really hope that you're able to make it big, Vainavi, and you're able to make the entire pet journey for the exotic pets really fun and provide quality food for them. Thank you so much for sharing your big idea with us. Yeah, it was really fun talking to you, and wish you the very best. And from my side, I'll bid you goodbye for now.
Bye.